These text messages between Haley Beck and her student are so cringy to read. I feel almost bad for Haley. Like if she weren't an actual adult having a relationship with a student, I would be telling this girl, like, why are you engaging with someone who's so clearly not interested in you? At one point, he says that during his sophomore year, she was, quote, 1 billion% overweight. So he's talking about these ID pics that they had the year prior, and he said that those ID pics were funny. Haley says, funny? Why? Oh, let me guess. I was a beluga whale in the first few. And the victim says, bro, my sophomore year, you were 1 billion% overweight. And now you look fire. And he says, man, ain't that right? Haley says, yeah, but you still fucked with me then. Haley says, like as a person. He says, negative. You was a cool teacher. Haley says, is my one this year good then? I think she's talking about her ID picture. He says, and my current teacher, probably responding to her previous text. And Haley says, or better at least, still talking about the picture. You're telling me you wouldn't have tried with me back then solely because of the teacher aspect? Victim says, no, not at all, because it would have been like, she's not even a flex. She's rough. Haley says, right, I was just cool. And she says, all right, be nice. And he says, you asked, same way I think about Miss B, the 50-year-old teacher. He continues, same way I think about Miss B. If she was a little more fit, I would have died in the kitty cat. I don't want to say it. I can't say it. Haley says, bro, she's also 50 though. And he says, but she's too damn big for me right now. Age is just a number, baby. She's starving for the young DICK. Oh my gosh. Haley says, I mean, yeah, I guess, but even though our situation is still not right, at least we are closer in age. I don't like being compared to Mrs. B. She's trying to justify what she's doing. She knows it's wrong, but she's like, well, it's better because I'm 27 instead of 50. It's still gross, you weirdo. This is a child. So Haley says, I don't like being compared to Mrs. B. Victim says, no, 100%, a tad more normalized. Like if I'm 25 and you're 33, who cares? But if I'm 25 and she's 55, holy GILF, like grandma instead of MILF. Anyway, okay, GILF. Luckily, I haven't cracked her yet. Haley says, right, this sounds way more normal. Like an older woman, go you. She says, sick. Haley continues, I can't even look at her without thinking of her literal vagine. Victim says, right. The next message is, victim refers to Haley as his lifelong side piece. And this occurred in the same time frame, July of 2025. Haley says, I'm glad you still referred to me as sugar mama. I thought my services were being retired. He says, yep, lifelong side piece. Haley says, lifelong, I'm going to get sick of side piece eventually. I'll need an upgraded title. 8 hours of meetings today. I'm actually going to unalive myself. And victim says, well, that's not my decision. Haley says, what do you mean? He says, you're the old lady here. If you seek a relationship your age, I can't be anything other than your side piece. You're playing with fire, not me. Haley says, you think I'll still F with even when I'm in a relationship? He says, 100%, dick to fire. Haley says, I was going to ask if you'd still FW if you were in one, but you literally did. These people are idiots. It's worth noting that apparently at the time, Haley was dating a police officer. So she was actually in a relationship, and he calls her out for that in multiple text messages. So Haley says, but you literally did. Victim says, yeah, I mean, I haven't locked in a relationship, but technically I am, so I guess you can say that. I don't really care, TBH, I cheat. Haley says, you are? Like, again? Victim says, when I come home, I'm a seer FS. She like a sloth on a tree. She not letting go. Now, in the next series of messages, Haley and the victim are discussing meeting up with each other. Haley texts him saying, your roomie went in on the action too? I'm kidding, in all caps. Victim says, wow, you really are just a bucket. Like you would dead do TS, I feel like. I don't know what that means. Haley says, you're insane. A bucket? Bro, he could very well be a minor, and I would never do this for a stranger. Then Haley sends him a screenshot of lyrics, and they are lyrics to that Ariana Grande song, break up with your girlfriend, I'm bored. And he says, Jesus Christ. She says, tee hee 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 hee, oh relax, live a little. Next, victim says, thank you for all the things you do and have done. Click the accept though. I'm at the counter. He's asking for money and he's like being nice to her because he needs money in that moment. So Haley says, why are you thanking me? It's making it seem like you're done with me. He says, nah, I'm just no finna be as available. Not finna be as available, I guess, because I'm gone. Haley sends Apple Cash and then says, yeah, I know this, but still like available over text and call, you know? I'll see you this weekend when you're available for our temporary last hurrah. Victim says, yeah, but not regularly, maybe. Haley says, when I come home, I'm coming to beat them cheeks up. That's where I got the impression, LOL. He says, haha, maybe, that's funny. Haley says, nah, like I know you have stuff to do and people to see, but don't forget about your sugar mama. And then Haley sends a screenshot of a text message that the detective had sent her, and the following is what the detective sent to Haley that she then screenshot and sent to the victim. It says, it's redacted, and then it says, my name is Detective Kraber with Peoria PD. I have a search warrant for your phone and need you to turn it over. If you do not, you could face criminal charges for failing to obey a court order. If you prefer, we could contact you at your new school in California. Please call this phone number to verify I am in fact a police officer. Respond to this number to coordinate the surrender of your phone. Thank you. And so then the victim sent this next message to Haley with the caption, don't text me. Then it details all the times that there's like a sheet that details all the times she sent him Apple Cash amounts in various amounts, $25, $58, $20, $25, $10, all within a short frame in June of 2025. And I'm sure that there's more. But her response to this is basically that she's freaking out about that message. And he says, delete everything about me in your phone, probably. Like, instead of probably. Like, he does not care. And she probably cares a lot because she knows she's going to be in trouble. And he's just been playing her this entire time. He's just using her to get money. And it is so painfully obvious the way that he degrades her and insults her. And she still just comes crawling back for more. It's as if she's trying to fulfill some high school experience void that she has. Like maybe she wasn't very popular in high school, but now that her brother is super famous and she has these students that basically will kiss her ass for either decent grades or Apple Pay money, then she feels like, oh, I'm rectifying my lackadaisical, like my lame high school experience by vicariously replaying it through this. Sick. There's more. I'll come back with another video, so make sure you follow if you want those updates.